Good morning, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome to the Daily Squeeze 190. It's so okay to not be okay. The chats I've had and the DMs from yesterday, you guys, it is so okay to be a little bit lost. I can't express this enough. If you are feeling overwhelmed, if you are feeling stressed, if life right now is affecting your family, your extended family, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling frustrated, if you're stressed, it's okay. You are not in this alone. I know after talking to a few different people in the last few days, if you know of friends who are alone, like living alone, it's a great lifestyle when you're at work all day to go home and be alone. It is difficult for people who are alone at this time, who live alone, because it is isolating, and we need to make sure we are reaching out to our friends and family who do live alone. I was on the phone with a friend this morning, and she started working from home at her place, and then her partner asked her to come to his place, and even though they're doing separate things, like it's kind of like a me and Mark situation. Like, he was playing his stuff in the room that's all set up, like card games and whatnot, and she was out doing a puzzle, and it was lovely because little things like that mean the world. So you don't always have to be constantly doing something with the people you're living with, but take care of the people who are definitely living alone. Hey Beck, how are ya? It's really important to find time to sit with if you're not okay, sit down with your feelings. It's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to take some time to take time. This whole process essentially is a massive grief roller coaster. There are people who are going to accept it right away. There are people who are going to be in denial right away. It's going to bring on sadness. We're all going to have to accept that it's happening at some point, and then you kind of get out of that by getting creative and doing stuff and kind of getting on with it. This cycle, I should have drawn it out. Sorry, I don't have any pens or paper here, but I'll try and post something. This grief cycle, essentially, it's going to be different for everyone. It is going to take everyone a different amount of time to kind of venture through it. And it's completely okay to just sit with however you're feeling. If you can sit with it and you understand how you're feeling, it's really good for you. It's really healthy to just take some time and be like, all right, today is hard. I know I've spoken with some people who live alone lately, and they do express how lonely it's getting. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do. Whether, all my family is home in the States. They've been going through what Australia is now going through for weeks. It's really hard to understand, for me, the different scales. Like, if all my family are being asked to be home and not leave, but I've been here where it was kind of the daily grind was still happening, it's really interesting to know that why am I allowed to go out and be when they're not? So I've kind of been at home as well. Mark and I just had a chat not too long ago. I've been home for about 8 days. I need to go wash my hands now because I touched my eyes. 8 days. And he's like, you really need to take the dogs out and get out of the house, and we need to go for I can't say it because Morph's right there, but it's time to go out and be active, but social distance. As a family, take the doggies for walks. I've been walking them just around the perimeter of the yard. I like the neighborhood that we moved to, but I don't feel 100% safe all the time. So I choose not to walk around the neighborhood right now. I love going out with Mark and the boys. We don't want to go to our normal park because we don't know how many other people are going there. It's usually quite busy. But we thought of something, a place that we could take the boys to for a nice WALK. So we're going to try that out this afternoon. Calling is great. I highly suggest getting on a video. You can tell the people with the bifocals because they'll be like this in the video. It's so fun to watch. Like, oh, Mom, I can't see your whole face. Oh, hi. I love it. It is a bit, you have to find humor in it as well, but seeing people face to face is so much nicer than even just hearing their voice. So I highly recommend video chats, virtual chats, catch-ups. Trying to think what else I put in the thing to chat about today. I know I'm speaking really fast. And I've stopped doing my hair and it feels amazing. I love my hair right now. I can wash it every other day, and I don't know the last time I picked up a conditioner bottle, but feels amazing. The looks, meh, take it or leave it. It's okay to not be okay. I know I wanted to talk cravings. Oh, I had a few messages after what I talked about yesterday, so I held up the two different dinner plates we have. We have like the Mark dinner plate that's like mega big, and then the Kelly dinner plate that's not so big. The comments I had about that, just seeing that and implementing something so simple, everyone is just so on board with it. It's not necessarily something you would think of. Like, society has all these kind of rules or unspoken rules of this is what's for dinner, this is what's for breakfast, this is what's for lunch, these are snacks. Do what you need to do right now. Give yourself some leeway. If you are craving food, especially sweets or carbs, there's no switch off button. I'm sorry, I'm gonna tell you the truth, but you can't just turn it off, and it's not gonna be something that you can just easily grow out of. It's all about being mindful. And because we have a little bit more time these days, because we are around the house more, whether you're still going to work or not, all extracurriculars are pretty much done for right now, so there's definitely more home time, and this home time is pretty much when people are going for the pantry or the fridge more. And the best thing that you can do is be really mindful and start asking yourself the questions, even if you have like a family discussion around it. Like, ask yourself if you're really hungry. Are you thirsty? Have you drank enough water today? Obviously not all at once, maybe one question at a time. Ask yourself if you've drank enough water. If not, have a glass of water. Give yourself 10-15 minutes, see if you're still hungry, and then decide. If you try to say, no, I'm not going to snack, I'm not going to eat anything bad, I think that's the worst thing that we can implement, because as soon as we tell ourselves no, what is it that we think of? We think of what we can't have. We think of what we shouldn't do. So give yourself some leeway right now, especially because this is a grief process, guys. This is all about understanding what's going on, having a big array of emotions. Everything's going to be up in the air for a little while. Our lifestyles will be changing, but it's going to be different for everyone, and it's how we adapt to it. I think now is a great time to say, all right, if I'm having a craving, this is what I want. First, I'll try and have some water. Then I'll try and have a healthy snack, and then if I still want it, then I'll have it. You can try to do a little movement, go for walks. Like I said, I just walk around. We have a pretty big yard. I've been walking the perimeter a couple times to just try and change it up for the dogs as well. And they seem to be like, what's going on, and enjoying it a little bit. I'm purposely not doing it at the same time every day because then Buddy gets into a routine. So it's the element of surprise right now, but you can tell he's waiting for it. So it's pretty cute. So you can go for like a little walk, do some movement, even just laying on the floor and doing some stretching, laying against a wall with your legs up and your head and your back on the floor, something really good for a little bit of different movement, mindfulness. I can't express enough how it's okay to indulge. It's okay to not be okay, and it's okay because tomorrow's a new day. So progress over perfection, it's really important that it's the little steps that mean the big changes. So if you're going to try to omit everything that is unhealthy, you have to think sometimes foods are good. Sometimes food to me is any treats or anything you really enjoy. It's not that you eat them every day or all day, but there's something that you enjoy, and you have to enjoy enjoying them. I could probably word that differently, but give yourself some time and be okay with indulging a little bit. It's interesting to hear everything everyone's saying. I had someone that just messaged yesterday, and they said the plate idea was great, but because their portions are kind of out of control now. And we had this little chat back and forth just over Messenger, and I just suggested even what about smaller meals more throughout the day. So if you're used to being at work and stuff and having a decent lunch, having a decent breakfast and a decent dinner, but you're home all day now, what about having smaller meals more throughout the day to help curb that? This is your time that you can make it yours. You can change up your routine a little bit. You can be more mindful of why you're feeling how you're feeling, and you're craving what you're craving. Unfortunately, cravings will not just, okay, I know I'm a stress eater. I always have been. I'm also one of the people that kind of eats when I'm bored. I've learned to do different hobbies. I have puzzles around. I have books around. I love doing this stuff because it keeps me busy. And the more I talk about healthy stuff, the healthier I want to be. What else do I do? I play with the dogs all the time. I feel like I do a lot more. Laundry keeps me busy. Cleaning keeps me kind of busy. Cleaning up the kitchen, I love. It's an awesome hobby of mine. Making new things. Last night I even made bread rolls for the first time. They turned out quite well. Not something I would normally make, but we had a pizza dough in the fridge that Mark had gotten. It popped. Just something new we were trying because we saw it at the shops, and why not? But didn't really go as planned, so I ended up just making it into breadsticks. And I had some of my mom's, she made lasagnas when she was here, and then she just did some Italian sausages in the sauce from the lasagna, and we put it in the freezer. And I just needed some comfort stuff last night, so instead of snacking all day, I told myself for dinner I'll make bread rolls and have Mom's Italian sausage and sauce with a lot of veggies in it. That's what I had. It was gorgeous. I ended up not snacking last night. I went to bed with feeling really content. I got a good sleep. I had the best sleep last night after eating something that I was really looking forward to. I enjoyed eating it, and it was a little bit of comfort, and it just worked. So the calmer you are with yourself and your choices, the better it is for you and your family. Amit says, the best way, clean home cooking, talk with family. Yes, it's very simple, but it's also a little bit of being mindful of what you're doing and being really mindful of how others are feeling. I was saying at the beginning of this chat, call and chat with all your friends and family that you know are living alone right now. It does get isolating. Mark and I even had a chat. He said, I need to get out of the house. I know I'm allowed out of the house. I just if I don't need to, why go out? But we are going to do a family WALK this afternoon at one of the parks, one of the bigger parks, kind of we're going to go the opposite way that normally everyone goes, and it should be still a decent WALK, but we've also said, you can go up and down the same track for as many times as you need, and it's a big park area, so I am looking forward to that. I just want to wrap up today with the okay, it's not being okay. It's definitely okay to take some time. It's definitely okay to tell your family and friends to take some time. I saw this great post about don't feel guilty right now for not being productive, for reminding people to stay at home themselves, even though I just said I was going to the park, but it is for exercise as well. Don't feel guilty for gaining weight right now. If you can maintain right now, it's perfect. No one wants the COVID-15. Just be mindful of being you right now as well. So it's all about mental health over physical looks. You have to keep your mindset in check. It's really important. So you do need to keep moving, keep exercising, and lots of self-love and family love. Also, don't feel guilty for feeling upset, overwhelmed, or any emotion you might have. It's completely okay. And you'd be surprised because every single one of us is doing the same thing. We're feeling same feelings, even me. I was on the phone for 2 hours with a friend earlier, and I talked about, I was, normally go live at 9. I changed it up today, and it was the best thing for me. I'm still here. I'm actually doing a lot better because of my chat this morning. Definitely reach out to those that, if you haven't chatted to in a while, definitely reach out. It is okay to not be okay. The post that I found, the don't feel guilty for ones that I just read, it's from I Weigh. I Weigh is, do you know The Good Place? It's, I can't think of her name right now. Jamelia? Anyways, check her out. Google The Good Place. The actress that plays, I think, Tess, something like that, Jamalia. Follow her. Amazing positivity and so real. Like, pretty much, my friend put me onto her this morning. It's amazing. It's completely me, but she just says everything in the right way. And then I Weigh as well, so that's kind of her little, it's about all this radical inclusion, which is amazing because that's exactly what we need right now in this time. Even though I think we're physically distancing, we need to socially come together, and all of this will help us do that. So it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to feel lost. It's okay to feel frozen. I think after hearing that today, feeling frozen is a great way to talk about how some people might be feeling. I've talked to many people about Easter holidays coming up and how a lot of people take extra time off. If you can, still take the time off. Just because you're working from home, it doesn't mean that you have to be switching on every day. It is hard. It is hard to be productive if you're feeling frozen or overwhelmed or frustrated, or if the unknown brings up fears in you that you just can't quite get your head around. Taking some time for you is perfectly okay. Being not okay is completely okay, and take some time for you. If you are having the cravings, really try to put some things in place. I highly recommend asking yourself some mindful questions, even if you leave the list of questions right on your fridge or on your cupboard for now. Ask yourself if you've drank enough water, if you've eaten enough healthy food for the day, if you've eaten enough. Split meals into lots of little meals during the day if you do find yourself snacking, because that can show you like where your energies are peaking and not peaking. If you want to have any chats about any of this, I have my free strategy session online. Feel free to book in. It's a half-hour session where I pretty much listen and you get to do this chatting. It's a great way to, I don't want to hear people vent, but I do want to help people plan way forward to get out of this mindset of the unknown and maybe put a strategy in place. Again, progress over perfection. It may not be a strategy that's done in a day, but it's something that you can work out over time to create these new routines while we are in this place. So with that said, I'm sending you lots of virtual love. Hi Alice, I just see that you've popped on. Sending you lots of virtual love and leaving you with, you got this shit, go rock it.